Hi, welcome to another amazing woman wrestler video. In this video, we are going to discuss Asuka. You will get details about her professional and personal life and all other things. Early career, 2004 to 2010. Urai, working originally as a graphic designer, decided to find a new career in professional wrestling after becoming a fan of the likes of Keiji Muto, Satoru Sayama, Yoshiaki Fujiwara, Antonio Inoki, Akira Maeda, Nobuhiko Takada, Masakatsu Funaki, Folk Han, and Minoru Suzuki. Trained by Yuki Ishikawa, Urai adopted the ring name Kana and made her professional wrestling debut for all-female promotion AtoZ on June 16, 2004, in a match against Leona. She spent the first part of her career with AtoZ, before suddenly retiring due to chronic nephritis on March 19, 2006. During her time away from the ring, Urai opened her own graphic design agency. After spending a year and a half away from professional wrestling, Urai made a comeback on September 22, 2007, and worked as a freelancer for promotions such as Ice Ribbon, JWP Joshi Purosu, Neo Japan Ladies Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Wave and Pro Wrestling 01 while also forming the Passion Red stable with Nani Takahashi, Natsuki Tayo, Rei Yumiko Hata and Neo, which became her new home promotion. On October 10, 2009, Kana teamed with Takahashi to defeat Hiroyo Matsumoto and Kyoko Inoue for the Neo Tag Team Championship, Kana's first professional wrestling title. They held the title for 2 months before losing it to Ayumi Kurihara and Yoshiko Tamura on December 31, 2009. On January 24, 2010, Kana quit Passion Red. Pro Wrestling Wave, 2008 and from 2010 to 2015. Kana had made some appearances for Pro Wrestling Wave in 2008, but did not start working regularly for the promotion until the end of 2010 when Neo Japan Ladies Pro Wrestling folded. On July 24, 2011, Kana defeated Azumi Kurihara in the finals to win the 2011 Catch the Wave tournament. On October 30, Kana and Kurihara defeated Ran Yu and Toshie Uematsu to win the Dual Shock Wave 2011 tournament and become the first ever Wave Tag Team Champions. While a tag team champion with Kurihara, Kana also regularly teamed with Mio Shirai as Triple Tails S, and on February 1, 2012, Kurihara, Mika Ida and Shu Shibutani were made official members of Triple Tails. 4 days later, Kana and Kurihara lost the Wave Tag Team Championship to Ran Yu and Toshie Uematsu. On March 6, the new incarnation of Triple Tails was named White Tails in reference to Wave's top villainous alliance, Black Dahlia. On November 27, Kana defeated Yumi Oka in a singles match, after which she declared herself the new ace of Wave on February 17. Kana, as the 2011 Catch the Wave winner, was granted entrance into the Wave Single Championship tournament, defeating Mio Shirai in her semifinal match. On March 17, Kana was defeated in the finals of the tournament by Yumi Oka. On April 21, Kana and Mio Shirai defeated Misaki Ahata and Tsukasa Fujimoto to win the Wave Tag Team Championship, bringing Triple Tails as its first title. Japanese Independent Circuit, 2010 to 2015. On April 29, 2010, Kana held her first self-produced event, titled Kana Pro, which saw her lose to Meiko Satomura in the main event of the June 19, Kana formed the Triple Tails stable with Io and Mio, the Shirai sisters, and together the three of them worked for several promotions across Japan. Kana Pro's second event on January 10, 2011, saw Kana and Yuki Ishikawa lose to Carlos Amano and Yoshiaki Fujiwara in the main event. Triple Tails also put together their own shows on February 13 and May 8, 2011. Kana Pro's third event Logang on September 24 saw Kana lose to Kengo Mashimo in the main event. On October 29, Kana was elected the 8th president of 666, a small independent promotion for which she had wrestled for the past year. On November 5, Kana took part in the final event held by the Battle Arts promotion, defeating Aki Shizuku in a singles match. On March 11, 2012, Kana made her debut for the DDT Pro Wrestling promotion, taking part in an 8-person 10-minute battle royal for the Ironman Heavy Metalweight Championship, which she won 5 minutes into the match by pinning Michael Nakazawa, before losing it with just 50 seconds remaining in the match to Antonio Honda, only to regain it via submission with just 22 seconds remaining in the match. On April 8, Kana defended the title in another 10-minute battle royal, during which she lost the title twice to Michael Nakazawa and once to Keita Yano, but each time managed to regain it and left the match with it, now as a 5-time champion. On April 25, Kana made her first appearance for Ice Ribbon in 3 years, when she teamed with Aki Shizuku to defeat April Davids and Ice Time 60 champion Hikaru Shida. On April 30th, Kana lost the Ironman Heavy Metalweight Championship to Ayumi Kurihara at a Pro Wrestling Wave event in the opening match of the 2012 Catch the Wave tournament. On May 5th at Ice Ribbon's Golden Ribbon 2012 event, Kana defeated Hikaru Shida in a non-title singles match. On May 12th, Kana made her Mexican debut, when she took part in Torium in Mexico's Dragon Mania 7 event, defeating Syuri in a singles match. In early July, Kana and Mio Shirai took part in the 2012 Japan Expo in Paris, France. Kana returned to Ice Ribbon on October 20th, when she teamed with new Ice Time 60 champion Mio Shirai in a tag team main event, where they defeated Maki Narumiya and Tsukasa Fujimoto. On December 27, 2013, Kana and Mio Shirai disbanded Triple Tails, with their final self-produced independent event taking place in early 2014. On February 25, 2014, Kana produced an independent event titled Kana Pro Mania in Karakuen Hall, which saw her defeat Meiko Satomura in the main event. On April 16, Kana took part in a rare women's match promoted by Pro Wrestling Noah, defeating JWP representative Rabbit Mew. On May 15, Kana and Mio Shirai produced Triple Tails, final independent event before officially dissolving the partnership, which featured a main event tag team match, where Kana and Arisa Nakajima defeated Shirai and Kyoko Haruyama. On the next Kana Pro event on June 16 at Karakuen Hall, Kana and Namachi Marufuji were defeated by Meiko Satomura and Minoru Suzuki in an intergender main event tag team match. Smash, 2010-2012. Kana made her debut for Yoshihiro Tajiri's new Smash promotion on June 25, 2010, losing to Syuri in the main event of Smash.4. After the match, Kana left the arena smiling and later challenged Syuri to a rematch, which was made official on June 30th. In the rematch on July 24th at Smash.5, Kana, now a full-blown heel, defeated Syuri via submission in just 3 minutes. As part of the attempt to get her over as the top villain, Kana wrote a manifesto for the weekly Pro Wrestling magazine, which was published on August 4th, and where she attacked the entire Joshi Purosu community, claiming it was full of wrestlers with no personality and bad attitudes and who wrestled in an unrealistic manner. The article led to a confrontation between Kana and wrestlers from the JWP Joshi Purosu promotion on August 30th at Smash.7, but never led to a direct match. Kana then began feuding with Tajiri, which led to an intergender match on December 24th at Happening Eve, where Tajiri was victorious following the loss. Kana re-emerged on January 29, 2011, as the leader of the Triple Tails stable with the Shirai sisters, dubbing herself Seikai no Kana, literally world-famous Kana. Kana then continued working against the opposite sex, teaming with the Shirais to defeat Tajiri, Kanaoka and Yoshiaki Yago on February 25th. But losing to Funaki on March 31st. In April, Kana entered a feud with former WWE performer Serena, stemming from a comment she made, calling Kana a talented amateur wrestler, while she herself had worked for the top promotion in the world. In response, Kana vowed to make Serena respect her. In the first encounter on April 30th at Smash.16, Serena teamed with Makoto and Syuri to defeat the Triple Tails in a 6-woman tag team match, when Serena pinned Kana with her finishing maneuver, the spear. On May 3rd at Smash.17, Serena defeated Kana with a spear in the first singles match between the two. At the following event on June 9th, Smash started a tournament to crown the inaugural Smash Diva champion, which saw Kana defeat Lynn Bitch Byron in her first round match. On August 11th at Smash.20, Kana defeated Syuri to set up a rematch with Serena in the finals of the tournament. On September 8th, Kana defeated Serena to become the inaugural Smash Diva champion. American Independent Circuit, 2011-2014. On August 3, 2011, it was reported that Kana would be making her debut in the United States in early October, working for all-female promotion Shimmer Women Athletes on 1 and 2 and for Chikara on 7 and 8 in her Shimmer debut on Volume 41. Kana was shown in early segments ignoring Sarah Del Rey and cheerleader Melissa's welcoming, establishing herself as a villain in the process. Later, she defeated Mia Yim in her first match for the promotion. Later that same day on Volume 42, Kana defeated Del Rey via submission. The following day on Volume 43, Kana was defeated by cheerleader Melissa in a match to determine the #1 contender to the Shimmer Championship. Later that day, Kana defeated Lufisto on Volume 44 in her final match for the weekend, after which she shook Lufisto's hand. The following weekend, Kana made her debut for Chikara, defeating Jessie McKay in her first match on October 7 in Burlington, North Carolina. The following day, Kana was defeated by Sarah Del Rey in the main event of a show in Kingsport, Tennessee. Kana returned to Shimmer Women Athletes on March 17 on Volume 45, now a babyface. Kana teamed with Lufisto in a losing effort against Haley Hatred and Calamity. Later that same day on Volume 46, Kana was defeated in a singles match by Mercedes Martinez. The following day on Volume 47, Kana and Lufisto defeated Christina Von Eerie and MS Chief in a tag team match. Kana then defeated Kelly Skater on Volume 48 in her final match of the weekend. Wrestling New Classic, 2012. On April 5, 2012, Tajiri named Kana part of the roster of Wrestling New Classic, WNC, the follow-up promotion to Smash. For the first time since 2006, when she was affiliated with AtoZ, Kana signed a contract to make WNC her new home promotion, ending her freelancing days, though the deal allowed her to continue working for Pro Wrestling Wave and producing her own independent events. On April 26 at WNC's first event, Before the Dawn, Kana teamed with Mio Shirai in a tag team match, where they defeated Makoto and Syuri, with Kana pinning Makoto for the win. Post-match, Kana verbally assaulted Makoto, which led to Shirai turning on her and siding with Makoto. At WNC's second event, starting over on May 24, Kana submitted Makoto in a tag team match, where she teamed with Syuri and Makoto with Riho, a replacement for an injured Mio Shirai. 2 days later at Go West, Osaka, Kana submitted Makoto again, this time in a singles match. On June 17, Kana produced her first Kana Pro event in collaboration with WNC, where she and Kenichi Yamamoto were defeated in the main event by Daisuke Ikeda and Syuri. The rivalry between Kana and Makoto continued at WNC's following event on June 22, where Makoto ended her losing streak by pinning Kana in a tag team match, where Kana teamed with Syuri and Makoto with Mio Shirai. On July 15, Kana defeated Shirai in a singles match, after which she had another heated exchange with Makoto, who had been sidelined from in-ring action with a fractured wrist. Reina Joshi Purosu, 2014-2015. On August 30, 2014, Kana began working for Reina Joshi Purosu as a storyline consultant. After Kana used her power to strip Arya and Makoto of the Reina World Tag Team Championship, she and Arisa Nakajima became the new champions on November 20 by defeating Lynn Byron and Syuri in a tournament final, when Syuri was betrayed by her own partner, paid off by Kana. On December 26, Kana defeated Syuri to win the Reina World Women's Championship. Following the win, Kana reformed Reina as the promotion's new general producer, EP. In early 2015, Kana launched her own stable, originally named Kana Gun, Kana Army, but later renamed Fiero Gun, Clown Army, due to all members adopting Kana's clown makeup. Members of the stable included native wrestlers Makoto and Rina Yamashita, foreigners Alex Lee, Cat Power and La Comandante, and male wrestlers Hercules Sanga and Yuko Miyamoto. On January 12, 2015, Kana and Nakajima made their first successful defense of the Reina World Tag Team Championship against Goya Kong and Muñeca de Plata. On February 25 at Kana Pro Mania Advanced, Kana and Arisa Nakajima lost the Reina World Tag Team Championship to Hikaru Shida and Syuri. On March 25, Kana lost her position as the Reina GP to Shida after she and her stablemates Cat Power and Yuko Miyamoto were defeated in a 6-person tag team match by Shida, Shiro Koshinaka and Zusanmei. Kana made her first successful defenses of the Reina World Women's Championship against visiting Mexican wrestlers, defeating Hitana on May 17 and Reina Isis on May 29. On June 13, Kana made her third successful title defense against Yako Fujigasaki. On August 31, ahead of her impending departure from the promotion, Kana relinquished the Reina World Women's Championship. She wrestled her final match for the promotion on September 4, when she and Syuri defeated Konami and Makoto in a tag team match. NXT Women's Champion, 2015-2017. On August 22, 2015, Urai attended WWE NXT TakeOver, Brooklyn event in Brooklyn, New York. Rumors about her having signed with WWE were soon confirmed at a press conference on September 8 in Tokyo. This made her the first female Japanese wrestler to sign with the company since Bull Nakano in 1994. She joined WWE Developmental Territory NXT and adopted the ring name Asuka. Her debut appearance, which aired on September 23, ended in a confrontation with Dana Brooke and Emma. In her debut match on October 7 at NXT TakeOver Respect, Asuka defeated Dana. Asuka continued racking victories over various wrestlers, including main roster performer Cameron, and continued her feud with Dana Brooke and Emma. At NXT TakeOver London, Asuka defeated Emma. Both wrestlers' performance was highly praised by critics such as Dave Meltzer, who called the match fantastic. On the January 13, 2016, episode of NXT, Asuka participated in a battle royal to determine the number one contender for Bayley's NXT Women's Championship. She was eliminated second to last by Eva Marie. On the February 10 episode, Battle Royal winner Carmella lost her title match against Bayley. Asuka saved Carmella from a post-match attack by Eva Marie. Nia Jax afterwards had a stare-down with Bayley, indicating that she wanted a shot at her title. On April 1, Asuka defeated Bayley by technical submission to win the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Dallas and successfully defended the title against Nia Jax on June 8 at NXT TakeOver The End. In summer 2016, Vince McMahon contemplated moving Asuka to the main roster during the 2016 draft, but NXT head Triple H dissuaded him, calling Asuka the one person NXT could not afford to lose and the brand's anchor. Asuka remained in NXT and rekindled her feud with Bayley, whom she again defeated on August 20 at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. After her successful title defense against Mickie James on November 19 at NXT TakeOver Toronto, Asuka displayed the first signs of villainous behavior when she refused to shake her opponent's hand after the match. On the January 11, 2017, episode of NXT when Asuka was overpowered by the iconic duo, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross came to her rescue but then herself attacked Asuka. Asuka demanded to defend her title against all three and won the subsequent fatal four-way match on January 28 at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. In early February, Asuka became the longest reigning singles champion in NXT history, male or female. In March, Asuka wrestled on several house shows with WWE's main roster as a replacement for an injured Naomi, including a show at Madison Square Garden on March 12. Around this time, WWE began promoting Asuka's undefeated streak since her arrival in NXT. Asuka had never lost a match by submitting or being pinned, though she had come up short in the aforementioned Battle Royal in January 2016 and tag team match and one fatal four-way match on NXT house shows in March and May 2016, respectively, when other wrestlers were pinned. In her successful title defense against Ember Moon on April 1 at NXT TakeOver Orlando, Asuka again displayed a villainous demeanor, shoving the referee into her opponent to avoid Moon's finishing maneuver, the Eclipse, en route to winning the match. Asuka also attacked Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Ruby Riott, who were the final competitors in a battle royal to determine her challenger for NXT TakeOver Chicago, officially cementing herself as a villainess subsequently. Asuka had to defend her title against Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott in a triple threat match. Ember Moon missed out on the match due to a shoulder injury, but she managed to retain her title at the event on June 20. In June, Asuka decisively defeated Nikki Cross in a last woman standing match to retain her championship. During that time, she surpassed Goldberg's winning streak and Rockin' Robin's record-setting 502-day WWF Women's Championship reign. On August 19 at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Asuka defeated the returning Ember Moon to retain her title reign. However, during the match she broke her right collarbone, which forced her out of action for 6 to 8 weeks. Thus Asuka had to relinquish the NXT Women's Championship at the August 24 NXT tapings, which aired on September 6, ending her reign at 510 days. During her farewell segment, NXT General Manager William Regal called her one of the greatest champions in WWE history and also mentioned negotiations to move Asuka to WWE's main roster. Undefeated streak, 2017 to 2018. Asuka in 2018. After multiple vignettes in the upcoming weeks, it was revealed on the September 11, 2017, episode of Raw, Asuka was assigned to the Raw brand. A month later, on October 22, at TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, Asuka defeated her old rival Emma in her in-ring debut. On November 19 at Survivor Series, Asuka represented Team Raw in a Survivor Series match against Team Smackdown and was the sole survivor, lastly eliminating Tamina and Natalya. Throughout the next few months, Asuka continued her streak by defeating the likes of Dana Brooke, whom she defeated in 3 seconds, setting a new WWE record for the fastest submission win in a women's match, Alicia Fox and Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss in a non-title match. On January 28, 2018, at the Royal Rumble, Asuka won the first Women's Royal Rumble match, entering at number 25 and eliminating her former rival Ember Moon and lastly Nikki Bella to earn herself a Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 34. Throughout January and February, Asuka started a feud with Nia Jax, who attacked her during and before her matches and wanted her title opportunity at WrestleMania. Asuka defeated Nia Jax on February 25 at Elimination Chamber and again on the March 5 episode of Raw. In parallel, she also took a part of the Mixed Match Challenge tournament, with The Miz as her partner in support of the charity Rescue Dogs Rock. With wins over Carmella and Big E, Sasha Banks and Finn Balor, Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman and finally Charlotte Flair and Bobby Roode, they won the tournament. Smackdown Women's Champion, 2018-2019. On April 17, Asuka was drafted to SmackDown as part of the 2018 WWE Superstar Shakeup, making her first appearance by saving Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch from an attack by the Iconics and then SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella. On the May 15 episode of SmackDown General Manager Paige interrupted Carmella to announce that she would be defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka at Money in the Bank. At the event on June 17, Asuka lost to Carmella after an interference from the returning James Ellsworth, suffering her first official pinfall loss in WWE. Paige then granted Asuka a rematch that took place on July 15 at Extreme Rules, which Asuka lost after another distraction from Ellsworth, who was hanging above the ring in a shark cage, which Carmella used to win the match. In September, Asuka helped Naomi, who after defeating Peyton Royce was attacked by the Iconics. This led to a tag team match between the two teams on October 6 at WWE's Super Showdown, where Asuka and Naomi were defeated. Also during that time, it was announced that Asuka and The Miz would take part in the upcoming Season 2 of Mixed Match Challenge. Towards the end of November, Asuka won a battle royal to enter her way into the first ever women's tables, ladders, and chairs match against both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. On December 16 at the namesake event, in what was also the first ever Women's Championship match to main event a dual-branded event, Asuka won the SmackDown Women's Championship for the first time in her career after Ronda Rousey interfered and pushed both Lynch and Flair off a ladder. Throughout her reign, Asuka was able to fend off different challengers such as Naomi on the SmackDown following TLC, Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble and Mandy Rose at Fastlane. On the March 26 episode of SmackDown, Asuka dropped the title to Charlotte Flair in an impromptu match, ending her reign at 100 days. However, Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer revealed that Asuka was supposed to defend the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 35 against the winner of a fatal four-way match between Carmella, Mandy Rose, Naomi and Sonya Deville that was cancelled in the last minute. The Kabuki Warriors, 2019-2020. On the April 16, 2019, episode of SmackDown, Paige announced that she would be managing a newly formed women's tag team, consisting of Asuka and the debuting Kairi Sane from NXT. The team of Asuka and Kairi Sane, later dubbed as the Kabuki Warriors, was immediately put in a feud with the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, over the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. After weeks of avoiding them, the Iconics lost to the Kabuki Warriors during WWE's tour in Tokyo, which earned the Kabuki Warriors a title match. The title match took place on the July 16 episode of SmackDown, where the Iconics retained after they got themselves counted out. In August, the Kabuki Warriors failed to capture the titles from then champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. After a short hiatus, the Kabuki Warriors returned in September and defeated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. On October 6 at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, the Kabuki Warriors finally won the Women's Tag Team Championship from Bliss and Cross, after Asuka used a green mist on Cross. The next night on Raw, the Kabuki Warriors completed their transition into heels, as they cut a promo on both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and went on to defeat them in a non-title match, once again using green mist as leverage. As part of the 2019 draft in mid-October, Asuka and Sane were both drafted to the Raw brand. The duo further solidified their heel turn after Asuka spit green mist on their manager Paige, ending their association with Paige. She renewed her rivalry with Becky Lynch after Lynch challenged Asuka to a Raw Women's Championship match at the Royal Rumble in a rematch from the previous year's event. At the Royal Rumble, Asuka failed to win the title from Lynch. On the February 3, 2020, episode of Raw, Asuka demanded a rematch for the title, in which Lynch accepted, but a week later on Raw, Asuka again failed to win the title. On the first night of WrestleMania 36, the Kabuki Warriors lost their WWE Women's Tag Team Championship to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, ending their reign at 181 days, the longest reign for the titles so far. On the April 13th episode of Raw, Asuka qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match after defeating Ruby Riott. At the eponymous event, Asuka won the Women's Money in the Bank match. Grand Slam Champion, 2020 to present. On the Raw immediately following Money in the Bank, Becky Lynch revealed that she had vacated the Raw Women's Championship due to pregnancy, and that the ladder match was in fact for the vacated Raw Women's Championship rather than a championship match contract, making Asuka the new champion. She also became the second Women's Grand Slam winner after Bayley and third Women's Triple Crown winner after Bayley and Alexa Bliss. She embraced Becky Lynch after the announcement and chanted her name, thus turning face in the process. On the following Raw, the Kabuki Warriors officiated their face turn, beginning a feud with the returning Nia Jax. At Backlash, Asuka retained the title against Jax after both were counted out. A rematch was scheduled the following night on Raw, where Asuka again retained the title. Asuka presumably lost the Raw Women's Championship to Sasha Banks at the horror show at Extreme Rules after she indirectly blinded the referee with a green mist and Bayley removed the referee's shirt, put it on herself and counted the pinfall, which was unofficial. The next night on Raw, Stephanie McMahon ruled that the result was reversed to a no contest, meaning that Asuka retained the championship, despite Banks having taken possession of the actual belt. However, the following week, Asuka officially lost the title via countout in their rematch, where the belt could change hands by pinfall, submission, countout, disqualification, or interference. Sasha Banks won the title when Asuka chose to get herself counted out to save Sane from an attack by Bayley. This also marked Sane's final appearance in WWE, as she left the company to be with her new husband in Japan, therefore disbanding the Kabuki Warriors. At SummerSlam, Asuka competed against both Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and later Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. She lost the first match, but later defeated Banks to win back the Raw Women's Championship, marking her first time winning any WWE title more than once. At Clash of Champions, Asuka defeated Zelina Vega to retain her championship and, later in the night, answered Bayley's open challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which she won via disqualification. The following night on Raw, Asuka faced Zelina Vega for the Raw Women's Championship and again successfully retained. On the October 5th episode of Raw, Asuka teamed with Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose to defeat Zelina Vega, Natalya and Lana. On the October 19th episode of Raw, Asuka successfully retained her title against Lana. Asuka then faced Sasha Banks at Survivor Series in a losing effort. At TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, Asuka and Charlotte Flair defeat Jax and Baszler to win the tag team titles, making Asuka a double champion. They lost the titles back to Jax and Baszler at the Royal Rumble. She also lost the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 37 against Rhea Ripley, ending her reign at 231 days. On the Raw after WrestleMania, Asuka faced Ripley for the title in a rematch which resulted in a no contest due to Charlotte Flair attacking both of them. On the May 3rd episode of Raw, another rematch between Ripley and Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship was scheduled for WrestleMania Backlash. However, later that night, WWE official Sonya Deville added Flair to the championship match to make it a triple threat match. At the event, Asuka was unsuccessful to win the title and was pinned by Ripley. On the June 21st episode of Raw, Asuka and Naomi qualified for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match by defeating the team of Eva Marie and Doudrop, formerly Piper Niven. At Money in the Bank, she was unsuccessful in winning the match. It was her last match in 2021 before becoming inactive due to an injury. During the 2021 WWE Draft, Asuka was not drafted and was declared a free agent. After 9 months of inactivity due to her injury recovery, Asuka made her return on the April 25, 2022, episode of Raw confronting Becky Lynch. On the May 9th episode of Raw, WWE official Adam Pearce gave Asuka a championship contenders match against Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Lynch became upset and later attacked both of them during their match. The following week, Asuka defeated Lynch using Green Mist and earned a title match for the Raw Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell. Lynch defeated Asuka in a rematch on the next episode of Raw, and she was added to the title match. At the event, Belair retained her title legacy. In December 2015, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter stated that Urai may be the best worker in WWE, man or woman. In 2017, Urai became the first Japanese wrestler to top Pro Wrestling Illustrated's annual PWI Female 50 list. She is the first person in WWE history to win NXT Women's Championship, Raw Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, Women's Tag Team Championship, Royal Rumble match, and Money in the Bank match. In 2020, she competed in more WWE matches than all other superstars. In 2021, WWE named her as one of the top 5 of the greatest female superstars of all time. Personal life. Urai is a graduate of the Osaka University of Arts Junior College. She has written for Xbox Magazine and designed graphics for Nintendo DS and various mobile applications. She also owns a hair salon in Yokohama called Another Heaven. Urai is a mother, as mentioned by Becky Lynch and Naomi. In an interview with ET Canada in 2021, Urai detailed her own experiences with racism and shared her thoughts on the rise of anti-Asian sentiment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Championships and accomplishments. She won different titles like Women's Tag Team Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, Raw Women's Championship, Women's Tag Team Championship, Raw Women's Championship, NXT Women's Championship, and many more. Hope you guys enjoyed our video. For more videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.